Hi guys, Magpie Cat here. Today I thought I'd do something kind of random. It's definitely random. I'm going to tell you guys a ghost story that has happened to me. Multiple ghost stories, I guess. And I thought I'd just do my makeup. I got my glue stick and elf. This is just a silly video. It's not gonna be good or professional. I mean, literally, you guys are sitting on books right now, and it's bad. I got angry before making this video, but I don't know. My last video, 3 views. So I don't really care about what I'm making anymore. It's what I enjoy that matters. So yeah, thought I'd kind of start at the beginning of my ghost stories and just kind of go from there and do my makeup. There's nothing specific that I'm doing. I'm just doing something cuckoo bananas. I got my mirror here. So if you see me staring down, because I'm looking at it. It's very dirty right now. Okay, so most of you probably won't believe me when I tell you guys my stories or anything, and that's perfectly fine. It's normal to not remember or not believe what people tell you when it comes to paranormal stuff. And for me, this is just my experiences. This is what my memories have told me that has happened. And I mean that because some of the stuff that I've experienced is with other people. They could probably experience it an entirely different way. So that's normal. The human brain, does that. Cool my eyebrows. So I think the first experiences that I had with paranormal activity was when I was a wee lass, a little baby, when I lived in Texas. My mom would say that I would talk to somebody and the lights would go on and off, and it was one of those like knob ones, so it would be dim and something that she just couldn't explain. I don't remember a lot of any of that just because I was so young. But I know that, my mom would just come up with stuff, and my dad as well. My mom and dad would definitely seem like the type of people that wouldn't believe in the paranormal, but they do, which is pretty cool, We don't stand those non-believers. The most recent things are the first experience that I can remember go all the way back was when I moved to a town called Reed Point, Montana. I lived in this blue house. I'm pretty sure it was pretty darn old, from what I remember. I did not like that town. In fact, I have really bad nightmares about it still. Horrible nightmares. It's one of those small towns where people are so bored that the only thing that they want to do is just be pieces of shit. And I definitely gossiped, spread rumors and stuff, because it was almost like, if you don't be like them, then you're just gonna be the bottom dog and you're just gonna have a horrible life, which I had anyways. And all of the things that I might have seen, might have been because of the trauma that I went through before moving there and what I was dealing with there. The first thing I remember was hearing scratching noises in my room. And I had a really horrible room. No, it wasn't bad. It was just something you look back now and you're like, oh, why would I even allow myself to sleep in there? I slept in this really, really small little yellow room. And it was yellow. And I would never have a yellow room. I wouldn't say any of you should have a yellow room because it actually causes anger. Go with pastel colors. Even if you don't like pastels, it helps your mood. We had a really yellow room and My Little Pony stickers all over the place. I thought it was a really cool room. I was never one of those really picky children when it came to bedrooms. But yeah, and every night I would hear this on the wall that was right next to my bed. And so I'd lay there and my door was always open and my parents were watching TV out in the living room because the living room was right outside my door. And God, I just remember like getting my dad and being like, Dad, come in here and just listen to it. And it would stop when he came in to listen. I'd be like, what? So I kind of just gave up trying to tell them and was just happy that at least they were out there in the living room until I would fall asleep. Because if not, I would not be able to fall asleep. And I would just be terrified the entire time. But yeah, and you know, I always have like weird shadowy things, and you know that I play tricks on you because eyes are epic, you know. Yeah, no, I would see like dark shadows in my room, which wasn't hard not to spot considering how yellow it was in there and how like bright it was. I think the scariest thing that had happened though, of what I saw, was I like woke up one night and it was almost like sleep paralysis, but I could like move my neck and my shoulders and stuff, but I think it was just the fear that made me feel like I could not move. I like sleeping, and then I felt like this dropping feeling in my chest, and I like woke up and I'm like kind of like looking around, and my stuffed animals in my room were on my bed kind of staring at me. And it's one of those things where I look back now, I'm like, was it a dream? Like, maybe it was, but it almost feels like just too real. And I was awake for such a long time, and when I had turned over, there was this sickly looking man that was bald, and he had like noticeable veins, you know, just sickly looking. And he was sleeping next to me in my bed, and he was like face towards me. And God, I like have it still in my brain so well that it like messed with me. And then I'm pretty sure a week later after seeing that, and just so you guys know, I have a really bad memory, so getting dates right is not something I'm gonna be able to do, just because, one, it happened back when I was in like the 2nd and 1st grade and 3rd grade. So I'm doing my best to remember. But I remember, I'm pretty sure it was like a week, because all of this memory just felt like it was all in just like one time period. But I got really sick, and I remember like there's always this nightmare that I repeatedly have, and like it's gone down now to at least once a year or every other year. I haven't had it this year yet, but it's a dream where there's this motherly figure, and she's either counting up to 100 or down from 100. I can never really tell in my dream because it's just so scary. And when she starts getting closer to the numbers that she's counting to, the last few numbers that she's counting to, she starts screaming it, and everything starts getting molten-y, like burning and getting red, and just, ugh, it looks so scary. And I know I like wake up from those dreams, and when I was sick, I was sleeping in my parents' bed while they were getting ready, and I ended up like waking up terrified, and whatnot, and I had to stay home alone. My dad like worked at the high school, so he was like right across the street, so he would come and check on me when he had time, because he was the superintendent / principal. But I was alone in the house, and I know I was really sick, and I was probably just hallucinating, but the feeling of that house was just not right. I remember I like went to the bathroom, and I like come out, and there's like this witch flying around the living room, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I like hide behind my parents' TV thing, and I'm like hyperventilating because I'm so scared. And then like I'm sitting there for I don't know how long, and then I like get up and she's gone. And I was like so relieved. I like got back in bed and like turned on the Wii, and I was like playing Mario Party 8 or something just to get my mind off of it. And I know there's just always that unsettling feeling, and I know my parents felt the same way from what my memory was. I'll have to ask him if he remembers it, or if it's just a figment of my imagination. But my dad, I remember we would get cats downstairs, and it was always strange because we wouldn't know how they would get down there. And we did have like one of those cellar doors that would come out to the outside, so we didn't know if there was just a hole or somewhere that they were getting in. But I remember I had gone down there I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Like I said, I'm probably way off, but there was a cat downstairs. But my dad went down to go check on it and grab it and get it outside, because you don't want a stray cat in your house, you know. Or at least the adults didn't. I remember my dad coming upstairs and he just looked white on his face. And, you know, we would always see things that crawl around like a cat, but it was bigger than a cat. So it was like a dark shadow. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just remembering it. And I think my memory was looking out into the back area and seeing something crawl really fast across the ground. And my immediate thought was not a cat. It was huge. And it might have just been my fear telling me that it was not a cat. Oh, my eyes are watering. Oh no. But it would run across. And like my dad, he's a hardcore man, you know. He's not one of those people that show fear or emotions, like at all. So seeing him, you know, looking kind of scared was like 10 times scarier for me, because I'm just like, Father, you're supposed to be the one that is not supposed to be scared. You know, growing up thinking that way with the media. Sexist me. Anyways. But yeah, he was scared. I was always scared of downstairs. I remember I was waiting to watch the Star Wars cartoon that was coming out. Because they had a countdown for it. And honestly, I wasn't a big Star Wars fan. I don't know why I was putting myself through that. But the only TV that we had that I could watch it on was downstairs in the basement. And I remember I had waited all day. And finally, like, it was probably like an hour before it was about to air, they had the SpongeBob episode come on with the slash-slinging slasher? Slash-slinging slasher? I can't remember the name. I'm so sorry. I remember that episode came on, and I don't know why it just scared the fuck out of me. And I'm pretty sure I remember running up the stairs. And I was like, you know what? I'll have another time to watch this show. I don't care. I'm not gonna put myself through watching it. It's so scary. And the scariest part too is running up the stairs. Is that you could see underneath, because it was just like wood slab, wood slab, wood slab. So you could see underneath, and somebody could grab you and like fucking trip you, or be staring at you from underneath, and that's what would go through my mind. And it was just the scariest thing, all the way from the back of the basement all the way up to the top. And I remember my friends and I don't know if they remember it or if this is just something my brain came up with, because I can never trust myself memory-wise, because I have the worst issues with that. I remember we were playing hide and go seek. It was me, friend M, I'm not going to say their names, friend M and friend J, or it was a friend C. I can't remember which names it was, but it was a big basement. Like, it basically was, we had this gutting area, which I know sounds absolutely horrifying, and it is. Oh god, I can't see what I'm doing because of the shadowing. Anyways, we had the gutting room, which we weren't allowed in. It had open walls, and there was fiberglass, which I didn't know what it was when we first moved there, and that was painful. My little hands, ouchie wouchie. We weren't allowed to go in there. I knew that, my friends knew that, and whatnot. So me and my friend, we hid behind this long bar of clothing. It like went from one wall all the way up to the other one. It was a pretty big room. And we were hiding behind there, and my friend Mercedes, my friend M, oops, I'm sorry, try to edit that out if I remember. She was it that I remember, and my friend and I had hid behind there. At least I remember hiding behind there. My other friend might have been close, but we're both hiding, and I wasn't scared being down there with other friends. Most people aren't, you know. Numbers feel safer. But she was looking for us, and she ends up opening the door to the gutting room, which I got annoyed with, and I'm like, I told you, we're not gonna hide in there, like, come on. And I remember her like coming out and she was like scared. She's like, where are you guys? Where are you guys? And then I like come out and I'm like, you're an idiot right here. And she's just like, I swear to God, I heard somebody giggle in there. And I like got really scared and we all kind of felt like a dread come over us and we all like ran upstairs. And it might have just been the kid thing where like, you feel like you need to, or it's just like run, flight or fight as a child, even if there's nothing there. But I believed her, and it's like an actual like ghost town. Like Google it, Reed Point, Montana. They have an old saloon there, which my friend grandparents own. Love them very much. And we would hear like footsteps in the back. Like I swear to God on my cat's life. And those are just some of the memories that I have in that house. I have nightmares about that house. Usually it involves the basement. I think the most recent one was, you know, Morgan Adams. If you don't, she's the sister to Rylan Adams, who's engaged to Shane Dawson. I remember her, she was talking about this, the girl, before she became like their main thing, she talked about this chick in her videos, Veronica, I don't remember. But there's like the picture of the black hair, and I had a nightmare about it, but it was in the basement. And I just remember them leaving me down there and going upstairs so I could go investigate down there, and it was just really scary. I can't remember the dream perfectly at all. Maybe it's a good thing because it was pretty darn scary. But had that, and I think I've always like seen like things always moving in my peripheral, and I was just like, it's just my hair, it's just my eyelashes, it's just a freaking, I don't know, something in my eyeball that's just moving around like those little wormies, you know. I think I have a better sense of spiritual things, whether you believe in ghosts or not. That's just how I feel for myself. I don't need other people to tell me if they believe me or not. I'm just like, bro, I saw that for myself. That's pretty cool. It's also horrifying and kind of scarring. I remember we were in the old hotel in Reed Point, Montana, and that place, pretty awesome. They had like the old clothes in there and whatnot. We're kids, so of course we're playing with it. We don't know better. But they were renovating it, and the only way to go downstairs is to go downstairs that are like this, and they're like probably that wide. Like my younger self could go down it pretty easily. It's really steep, so and like the steps aren't that wide, so you have to like watch your step and going down. And we were playing in the room and everything, and we heard a knock at the door, and so we thought it was her brother. So we got up and we like opened the door, nobody's there, and we didn't hear footsteps or anything. And going down those steps, it's like more than 100 years old. We would hear squeak noises, but we didn't. And so we kind of like looked around and everything, because we kind of got like excited. We're like, ghosts, let's look around. But we didn't find anything. One of my friends was, oh god, the chicken scared the shit out of me. I'm scaring myself, you guys. I'm scaring myself. But my friend thought that she saw something in the toilet. I don't know. I think we all were just kind of getting way too into it, which is fine. And we ended up not being able to play up there after a while because they had, what's it called? I'm gonna use my finger. They had electrical wires hanging down, and they didn't want us to get electrocuted, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's like, whatever. But I remember Norm, I don't know her name. Don't listen to when I say names. Just pretend I'm saying them wrong so I'm not, like, getting in trouble. She was telling us about her experience, and, like, she was, like, the last person I would think that would, like, have a story to tell off the place. But she was like, yeah, she was doing the laundry and stuff for the people there, and there was the laundry room on the second floor, but there's like an outside stair balcony, and this is like later on, so they had built stuff and whatnot. But yeah, and she was like, it would stop. The washing machine, the dryer would stop, and then she finally like went back and she tried it again, and she like hears something kind of bang, and she like goes back, and she like sees, and all the clothes are just all over the floor. And of course, me being a kid, I'm like, I don't want to believe it. It's kind of scary. I'm just gonna pretend I don't believe it. So that was an experience. And like I was telling you guys about the bar, we would like sit in there, and I think that was probably the coolest experience that I've ever had at Paranormal, because sitting there with one of my best friends, listening to like the sound of boots on wood was just trippy as fuck. It was just trippy, because you're almost just like, sometimes you just question yourself, even if you like go through an experience, you're like, no, that didn't happen. Every time my mind goes back, I just remember hearing it and being like, what? That's so cool. Oh my gosh. But yeah, and I think the next experience that I had was, I'm trying to remember. I know I would see and hear things when I lived in Dayville, in the house that we lived in, but I think it was just because I had like such a bad fear at the time, like to the point where I'd like sleep with my mom in her room like every single night, and I was just so scared. But I think some of the most recent that I had was when we moved to Boise, and I went to the penitentiary there, Boise Penitentiary. Ghost Adventures went there, but I went there, and it's like my favorite place to go. I've been there like 20 times, and I remember like walking through, and you don't expect anything to happen in the daytime, you know, or to happen when there's quite a bit of people around. But I went to the confinement area. Sorry if I'm getting the names wrong. The area where they would keep the prisoners who were bad or needed to be locked up away, because that seemed to help. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. But I remember I was like walking through that area and everything, and I like trying to talk to them because I'm like, Ghost Adventures, I want to be just like them. Never have a nice contour nose. Anyway, sorry. I was like walking in there, I was like talking and everything, and I was like looking at all the writing that's on the wall. And I remember I was like leaving, and I hear like somebody like shuffle across the like dirty ground, which is rocks and pebbles and stuff. And I like stopped, and I was like, fuck, was that me? Was that like an echo? I'm like, I don't know what happened. And I like go, and I see like a few pebbles, like, I don't see it actually, I hear it behind me, but I hear a few pebbles behind me, and I like turn around really fast, and you can see kind of where they landed. I could see where they kind of landed. And I was like, okay. And I think the other part, which like I still kind of have, I like questioned myself at first, and it was kind of funny because I was like some woman scared the shit out of me in this one cell block area, even though I was like the only person in there. And I can't remember which one it was. I think it's the one where the hangings happened. I can't remember, but I was like walking down the bottom area, and I heard a woman be like, hey, wait up. And I like kind of stopped, and it sounded really close, and I like stopped, and I was like, what the fuck? And it startled me, because I was like, okay lady, really, in this area you're gonna do that to me? There's nobody there. And I kind of like walked down a little bit, and I kind of like listened for footsteps or anything. Did not hear anyone. And I kind of just like, it's hard because it's one of those big echoey areas, but it didn't sound like an echo. And we went to like the place that had the movie, and they're like, yeah, one woman was in this area. And I'm like, that's the area that I heard the woman. Like, kind of cuckoo bananas if you ask me. Yeah, just little experiences like that. Going there multiple times and just hearing and seeing things, and just the feeling. My mom got a scratch, which was really weird. It's the area where you go up like the stairs and you really have to hunch if you're tall. I know I'm telling people who probably never even heard of the place. But yeah, we like went there and we came out. She's like, my neck. And I was like, what? And she's like, Mary, I think I have a scratch. And she started like panicking. And I'm like, okay, calm down. And I'm like, let me check. And I like kind of like look at her shirt. I'm like, okay. Like, there's a scratch mark, Mom. Did you just scratch yourself with your large freaking talon fingers? She's like, no, Mary, no, and now I'm scared. I want to go home. Overreacting, but like, I don't know how she got it. I was with her the entire time. I didn't see her, like, scratching her neck or anything. I don't know if she was touching it, like, when we were leaving, because she looked, like, concerned. She always kind of don't want to believe people because it's hard to know, but she's probably being genuine about it. Especially seeing an adult react that way, it's kind of like, ooh. And then other places. Sorry, I'm trying to find my other things to use for my face. Trying to think of the other experiences. I know my friends and I, they were always scared of my closet. I know Mama Kitty and Jack were always like looking around in there, like snooping, and were always acting like something was in there, which I'm just like, I would keep it closed, because it would scare me. I'm just like, you know what, I don't need this right now, my precious little angel babies. And I'm just like, I don't want to be scared. Even though, like, we had a root cellar, which was just like the pit of hell, and I would just like go down there without caring. I didn't feel anything creepy down there. I guess it looks like it's a perfect place for a horror place. I didn't feel anything creepy down there. But my closet. My friend Erica said she saw my lanyards that I had on my, like, little knob thing. She said that she saw them, like, fall on the ground. I know the doors have, like, opened even though I've closed them. And it could have been my cats, but we had, like, high rug, so, like, you have to really force it. And I remember I was sleeping on my side, and I was facing the wall. So, like, here's the closet, here's my bed, and it's a ground bed. I slept on the floor because that's how I liked it. And then there's the door over close this way, but I was sleeping and I was facing this way. And I'm, like, sleeping, and I'm, like, not even close to really being asleep. You know, you can feel it, and then, like, you know, if, like, something startled you awake, it's, like, part of your dream. But no, I heard something like shuffling across the floor, and then went, like, into my ear. And I, like got up, and I was, like panicking, and I, like, sat there, and I, like, turned on my light, and I was, like, fucking in shock. I was so scared, and I, like, was, like, staring at my closet, and that's just, like, where my eyes went immediately, was, like, to my closet. And I was, like, sitting there, and I, like, got up, and I, like, closed them, and I, like, laid there for, like, such a long time because I just could not fall asleep. And then I had, like, this one painting thing that was kind of propped up, and there's no way it could be moved. You know, the floor's not the type of floor that shakes a lot, and it was in a sturdy enough position. And, like, of course, I mean, you never know, like, the amount of movement, small movements over time can make something fall over. But it was, the weird stuff always happens at night, and hearing something like that fall. Sorry, I'm trying to find stuff. Ooh, brush hair. Hearing something fall, in the middle of the night when you're dead asleep. It will scare the shit out of anyone. You know, people can be like, no, it doesn't scare me. Nothing scares me. Be like, okay, sure. Okay. Yes, I'm using this as blush. It's just the feeling from that closet, which is so weird. It's such a weird place to even feel like that. Like, I know there's the kids like, oh no. This is just gonna be extra makeup. I don't even care. Like, the kids, like, there's a monster in my closet, and we've all felt like that as kids, but, like, as an adult, having multiple people feel scared of your closet, not just including yourself. And of course, I always kind of got used to it after a while, because, like, what am I gonna do? Just not be in my room, and just remove my closet, keep my closet closed? I mean, I did keep my closet closed. One is because my cat ended up peeing in there after a while. He's an asshole, but he's precious, so it's okay. I'm watching the chicken try to climb up something. But my friends being scared of it, was weird. It was extra weird, but it was kind of cool because, you know, you're not experiencing it alone. I did feel bad though, like when my friends had to stay over and she ended up being like super duper scared of it. Ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't done my makeup and it's hard talking at the same time. I think one of the cooler experiences that I had was with my friend Emma. It was after a track meet of mine. After a track meet, I live near a cemetery, which I would walk around a whole bunch. Not to be like creepy or anything, just because it was just a nice place. There was a nice little road, really a lot of beautiful trees, ducks. It was like, because I lived in the city. Most people be like, it's not even that big of a city. Like, to me it was big, so shut the hell up. So I'd go there a lot, but I remember like we were walking like through and everything, going to the gas station, and it was nighttime. We probably weren't allowed to walk through there, but bitch tried to stop me. Just joking. It was just the safest way, not being too close to the road, and getting to the gas station. But yeah, we like went, and we kept seeing this like weird light in the sky, which turned out to just be like, I'm pretty sure it was from, what's that one, like, what is it called? Oh my gosh, roosters are being loud. It's a furniture store, but they have like this, like one of those like light things that, like, you know, like the type of lights that would call Batman in. They had one of those, but so that was just kind of creepy, but it was kind of like silly at the same time. And we were chill, like walking through over to the gas station, but it was when we were coming back from the gas station that things got weird. Her and I were just like talking and everything, and I remember like going on the road, and we end up like seeing a dark, so there's like a depot, right? Like a really slender depot type building, and there's a dark door, like an old-fashioned dark door that's probably not even in use anymore. And we're both like walking, we both kind of like look up, and we see like a dark shadow move right in front of it. And my instant thought was like, okay, some creepers here. It wasn't even ghost at all, and whatnot. And like we were both keeping our eye on it. I kept my eye on it the entire time, especially with my friend being with me. I'm just like, okay, protective mode. If anybody's here, I'm gonna have to fucking murder them and protect my friend if they were to attack us. And I was telling her, I'm like, okay, if anybody tries to attack us, I'm like, I'll fucking, you know, tackle them and keep them, and you go and get help. And we were like kind of coming up with scenarios, not thinking anything was really gonna happen, but talking about it made us feel better, I guess. But when we got to the door, there was nobody in front of it, and this is a white depot. Anybody who could have gotten out from in front of that door, unless they didn't even see the door open or anything. It was just really weird. But sorry, something popped up on my phone. Yeah, it was just really weird. And that was probably like the last thing that we saw. I'll probably make this into a part 2 video. I'll end it right here, but I'll end it up posting it again, or posting the next part in the same day. So, see you in the next one, my little carcasses.